why is the daily level so important? Now, there are two main reasons. The local trend, and the local trend is the direction, the position of the price in regards to the key level. Now, the second thing is the fuel reserve. Now, and there are two types. The technical one, and that's the distance between the two levels, and the ATR that you know already. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about. So, if you remember these two levels, the resistance and support levels that we marked in the daily chart in the previous lesson. Now, let's go to an hourly chart. Oh, no, sorry. Let's go to the 4-hour chart so that it's a lot easier to see this segment. Remember the lens concept. So here you see that we are facing a huge resistance at this level right here and a huge support at this level right here. So as for the fuel reserve, we can say that if we enter into climbing using the support level, let's say from this position right here, then what do we expect from this trade? Now we can expect it to move to the next level, but not beyond. We will face resistance at this level. So that means that we have from around 13,133 till 13,274. So that's about 140 points. So our fuel reserve and our expectation for a trade cannot exceed 140 points. And of course, the second one, the ATR, it is calculated from the daily chart. So taking the past 5 candles, high minus low, 5 candle values divided by 5, and we'll get the average price movement per day, and that will be our ATR. And in this case, it will be around the same amount, plus or minus 100 something points. Now let's go back to the 4-hour chart once again. So we have two fuel reserves, the ATR, which is the fixed one, the one that we had calculated previously before we started trading based on the average market movement per day. And the second one is the technical one. And of course, this is the distance between the two levels. And in this case, the channel is in between this level and this level. So this is super important. And remember that these two levels are the daily levels. And these are the super important levels. So the daily levels, they give us the local trend, the direction, and the position in regards to our key levels. So let's say if we find an entry in the indicator or the entry with some other type of level, let's say from the 5-minute level or 15-minute level, let's say somewhere in the middle, somewhere around here, we could say that our fuel reserve is only around 70 points up until the next level. Now, of course, it can break the level, as you can see here, and move another 100 points up. Sure, but we do not expect it. And the reason why, that statistically, the levels, the powerful daily levels, we will face huge resistance, and nobody expects to break the level right away. And mostly people do take their profit when they see that the price has come to a key level. Now, as you can see here, when we're talking about the statistics, then you can see here that once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, the level wasn't broken and we did not move higher than the level. And as you can see on the 5th time, we did go higher, but again, we did not break the level. This was a false break. It was a break, but it was a false one, which means that we tried it, but no, we returned and we went down to the next level, which is the bottom one, the support level. And as you can see, this is the logic. So mostly people will be leaving their trades at key levels. So that's the reason why if we find ourselves an entry in the middle of the channel and in between the two major daily levels, and if we find one into climbing, so we open a long position around this daily candle, then we cannot expect it to go higher than this level. And around this location or a little bit before, we should be expecting a turn, and we should be leaving our trade. And this is pretty much already the basic concept of how the key levels are used. So of course then the most basic rule that you have to memorize and write down with huge letters in your notes is that when we are below a resistance level, let's say as an example right here, this is our daily resistance level, we can take only short positions. So we can expect the market to turn, and we can only expect to take signals for falling. So around these locations, whatever, regardless of what the indicator tells you, or maybe some smaller level is giving you a signal for climbing, never take a signal against a level. So pretty much any level, but especially a powerful daily level. Never do that. Near a level, we can expect only to take, and we must take only a signal in the opposite direction. So if we are coming close to a level, let's say right here or right here, any of these positions, we will never take a signal into climbing prices. So we will never open a long position. We will only entertain a possibility of taking a signal for falling. So never trade against a powerful level. Only trade in the opposite direction. Now the same goes, of course, for the support level right here. So if we come close in the 5-minute chart, in 15-minute chart, regardless, if we come very close to the daily level, the support level, we should never entertain a possibility of going into falling prices. So never take a signal for falling and never open a short position. Only entertain a possibility of going into climbing prices, so opening a long position. This is the main concept of how to filter out signals in the indicators, as well as shorter time frame signals with levels. The same idea. So this is the reason why the daily levels are super important. Then of course you should not be going against even hourly levels, or even a 15-minute level, or even a 5-minute strong level. And I will teach you how to identify those levels, how to trade them, and how to evaluate the power of those levels. Because these levels oftentimes can be quite nasty in terms of not working. Sometimes these levels you think, oh yeah, well, this seems like a good level, but there are signs that this level might be quite weak, and that you should be very careful about that level. And of course, I will teach you all of these tricks, concepts, tools, and so on and so forth. So this is pretty much why I say that level trading is mostly counter trend trading, because in these places like this one here, we have a climbing trend, and even here we would still have a climbing trend, but I would be entering into falling, or I would actually be leaving the trade even though the trend is working so well. So I would be doing something counter the trend. And remember that the indicator is actually for the trend. And the level is mostly 90% of the time, it works the best counter trend, so against the trend. And this is the reason why it works so great in combination. The indicator has a weakness that if there is no trend, then perhaps the indicator might give you a lot of false signals. But the levels, they actually will tell you why there might be no trend. Even if the indicator will be giving you a signal, then the level will tell you, we will not pass it, and it's visible, and you will see and understand why. And it's only human psychology that is the reason why these levels work so well. As I've said before, many traders expect resistance at these levels, and of course, if a trader would enter into falling around this location, then where would he close his position? Of course, he would close it around here. So we can expect the market to stop, to slow down, and to perhaps maybe even turn in the other direction, simply because people will be taking their profits and they will be deserting and they will be leaving the market, and they will not be trading. And of course, they will not be trading against the level. They will maybe be trading counter trend. So they may be, just like as we see here, the market moved down, here everybody took, it's obvious, everybody took their profits and entered into climbing, so opened long positions. So this location right here was the place where most of the traders changed their short positions into long positions. And this is what generated this powerful move up. That's all. And this is how the market works. And this is the reason why understanding the key levels will give you an incredible amount of information that you will use as a weapon in making money. So pretty much you'll understand the thoughts and reasoning of the bigger players and smaller traders who are trading in this market, and you will see the effects of their decisions, of their psychology, of perhaps their fear, and that when you'll be looking at the levels and how the market reacts to those levels, you'll be able to understand what those people are thinking and what they're trying to accomplish. And that will come with practice, of course. But this is something that I dedicated my life to, and this is something that I enjoy so much. When I look at this picture, at this point for you, this might not mean very much, and don't worry if you don't understand some of the terms that I'm using in this lesson. You'll know everything very, very shortly. And without this, I really cannot imagine my trading. I know that it might look a little bit complicated and a little bit strange, but don't worry. It will take some time and practice and correct mentorship from me, which you have already, and you will master this, and you will be just as good of a trader as I am. So let's do this together. All right, this lesson is coming to an end, so please don't forget about the test, and there is no homework again, so enjoy some time off, and I'll see you in the next lesson.